provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie.
Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. For more information on how the CCIDA can assist your business, visit choosechq.com.
From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives, to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives.
The Hofbräu House in downtown Buffalo invites all our friends from Chautauqua County to experience craft beer, Bavarian food, and live entertainment. Check us out on our Facebook page and website for family-friendly events throughout the year.
From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you are out of your turkey comas. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
You're awake.
I'm awake. Well, I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving and had an opportunity to spend some time with family and friends. And if you didn't, well, I hope you're doing well nonetheless. We had a nice, quiet Thanksgiving in our house. I worked with my wife and we prepped a nice Thanksgiving dinner, and yeah, and hardly any leftovers. How about you, Justin? How'd y'all do?
We had
Meatballs and chili. I know some people have meatloaf, some people have a ham. I guess it depends on, I heard chicken wings. Some family had chicken wings, because sometimes turkey can be a little bit too much. I don't know. It's the whole idea is not what you eat, it's who you're eating with, I guess. Huh? All right, good morning, everyone that's watching us live, streaming here off of our Facebook page. Good morning to those that are watching us later on in the day, or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. As you know, we do stream around the world, and we have friends over in Europe and down into Asia, across the United States, wherever. So especially down in the Ukraine, Natalia, we always are thinking of you folks. I know I do, and I've been watching your Facebook pages, and gosh, I hope there's a peace here soon. I'm under the impression that they're getting closer, so fingers crossed that happens and no more of the horrible bloodshed that's taking place out your way. All right, you take care. All right, also, good afternoon to my listeners in Jamestown on WRFA 107.9, Low Power of the People. Thanks for joining us Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. So if you're watching right now and you happen to be driving in Jamestown on Tuesday afternoon, you might hear my voice once again. We're so pleased to be able to share everything that we're talking about here in Mayville across the county and area. And today's show is no different. We're going to be talking about something that everybody in the county can get involved with. And we have friends I know over in the Jamestown area, Faulkner and so forth. So you'll understand what I'm getting at. All right, throughout the show, if you have a question or comment, something you want to share, like for instance, Linda Spalding has called in not too long ago about their watch party, and they were raising some funds for their club and organization and for Rural Minds and so forth. So give us a call. Don't be shy, 716-753-5225. And Mr. Randall Burt is on the other end of the line, and he will somehow magically push a button, and your voice comes into the studio here, and we can hear you, and you can hear us, and we'll be able to talk with you. Okay? Doesn't have to be anything other than just say hi. Mike from Portland sometimes calls in, and others, Jim Kurtz from Mayville and so forth. Love to hear from you throughout the week now. We're not on the air, and if you have an announcement you want us to share, I do community announcements. All right, let's pop that up again, Chris. You can email me at Chautauqua Sunrise, that's all one word, at gmail.com. And as long as it fits our parameters with the FCC, and my boss, Chuck Kelsey, will get you on the air. All right. Now, I have a special note here. If you are sending anything by snail mail, we have a new address as far as Access Chautauqua, which is the mothership here. And I don't even know what the old address was, but the new address is, if you want to send an announcement or something, Access Chautauqua, P.O. Box 6. That's pretty easy. P.O. Box 6, Mayville, New York, 14757. And again, you can always email us at the email address that I sent you just now across the screen, or if you want to go directly to the studio, it's Access Chautauqua, all one word, at gmail.com. So one way or the other, you can get to us. Please don't be shy, because we want to get your information out there. So anyways, well, we got our first serious snow, sort of. I don't know if I argue with the weathermen when I watch TV, but I think they've overcompensated over the years, where they probably underreported the weather report, and now we sort of get these reports where we're going to get feet and feet and feet and feet of snow, and then we get a couple inches, and that's it. So I don't know. In Ripley, we've got maybe 3 inches on the hill, 4 inches. And then I see up here in Mayville a little bit more. And Justin, you told me, what, 6, 7 inches? I heard your dad say something like that. Something like that. So it just depends on where you're at. And but it's that time of year. So check your tires, make sure you got your snow brush, all that sort of thing. I know we've been doing it at our house. And just get ready for some winter weather. It is just about December. I just realized on Monday it's going to be December 1st. Whew, how did that happen? You got Christmas shopping all done, Justin? Almost, all right. I'm getting there, After all the years of being married, you start to wonder, well, what do I get my wife, or what does she want to get me? And it's like, I don't need anything. And then I become my dad. You might say, what do you mean? I go in my closet and I look at her shirt, and there's still a tag on there. And I go, oh my God, I better start wearing that shirt pretty quick, because somebody bought that for me. It's like just getting together and being with family is what it's all about for me. But anyways, it's that time of year, and it's a fun time of year. So hopefully you're all getting ready, and we're going to get our Christmas Eve get together here soon. So it's going to be fun. All right. Boy, oh boy, last weekend, I was a busy guy, Randy and I, my intrepid cameraman that you saw last week on the show, we went up to Buffalo to the Opera House, and we filmed it, and then the next day we did the show here. And then I had the pleasure of emceeing the Westfield Christmas parade, and boy, it was a doozy. It was great. Beautiful, beautiful lit up floats, and boy, the Westfield area, and it included all the region. It wasn't just Westfield folks. They were coming in from all over the place. There was hundreds and hundreds of people on the street. It was pretty cold, but we managed. And of course, we had Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus. They had a beautiful, beautiful float, and then they lit up the lights in the park there, and boy, it was terrific. And my partner in crime, Rick Mascaro, was there. He was the Grand Marshal, so that was really fun. And so that's on YouTube in a number of places. And if you haven't noticed, if you go to What's Happening Westfield or something like that, it's a Facebook page, and Shelley Hunt Bowen did hundreds of spectacular pictures from that day. And then the next day, we did It's a Wonderful Life, the radio show. And it was just so much fun getting together with some of my old friends. We've been doing that show now for 10 years. And we had some new folks that did replace some of the people we started out with originally, but there was still 5 of us that did the original show back in 2015-16. That was that season. So anyways, really cool. Okay, let's see what else I got here. All right, I've been noticing in the mail, in just things I've been getting, emails, that this is the time of year that kind of organizations start asking us to think about maybe helping others, maybe making donations and so forth. And you've got your foundations, the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation, you've got the Chautauqua Regional Foundation, United Way, and other places like Union Relief in Westfield and so forth. And today we're going to be talking about an organization, the Westfield-Mayville Rotary Club. And my friend Dan Smith is going to be joining us here in a little while. And we're going to be talking about a very special project that Rotary's been involved with for many, many years. And I think you're going to find it interesting. So stay tuned on that. But anyways, this is right now, people, they're in the season of giving. So think about that a little bit. All right, I want to do some announcements, and then we're going to get to Dan, who's waiting very patiently, I might add, in the wings here. So let's go to our first slide, Chris. Jeff is on vacation somewhere. I don't know where he is. Maybe he'll call in. So this is from our friends from Infinity. Infinity in Visual and Performing Arts has launched its annual end-of-year campaign, inviting the community to support a place where the young people discover their voices, build skills, and last a lifetime, and find a welcoming home in the arts. And as you know, I love Infinity. They are going to be on again this December coming up. They always feature some wonderful students, and they do some really beautiful work in performances, and I've had the pleasure, it is total pleasure, to perform with some of the students over the years and being involved. So I just love this group. Each year, Infinity provides young creatives with more than 11,000 individualized private lessons and 1,200 plus group classes across 5 pillars of the arts, including music, visual arts, dance, theater, and performance. Students learn from local working artists and musicians, perform regularly in the Infinity Arts Cafe and the community, and have access to supportive mentors who celebrate their progress every step of the way. Donations to the end of the year campaign can sustain every piece of Infinity's mission, from performance opportunities, instruments, art supplies, group classes, to mentoring and access support for families who need it. In other words, they need a little help. Community giving also keeps the Infinity Arts Cafe performance stage active all year long, helping young performers share their talents with live audiences. You may not know this, but down in the, let's see, it'd be your bottom right corner, my bottom left corner, is a wonderful stage, and they've got lights and sound, and you name it, they got the audio visual equipment there. And I performed on that stage, and it's just wonderful there. Okay, individual supporters may choose to give anonymously or take part in Infinity's Friends of Infinity. Recognition opportunities are available, including nameplates on the donor wall, lesson room sponsorships, and more. I'm going to have to go over there, Justin, and count how many plates we have, because I know we got a few there. Visible reminders that Jamestown and the whole region believes in its young creators. Business donors and event sponsors are also recognized in a variety of ways. The campaign now runs through the end of December, with every contribution directly strengthening programming and opportunities for youth who call Infinity home. How can you support the campaign? Gifts can be made online at infinityperformingarts.org/support, or you can mail it to them, okay? All contributions, no matter the size, help ensure that students have access to meaningful arts learning right here in Chautauqua County. If you want to give them a call at 716-664-0991. All right, let's continue on. Next slide. This says save the date. So let's see what that says. All right. As you know, I also have another group of people that I'm very fond of, and that's the veterans. And this is going to be, let's see if I got this right. This is a special save the date. I know you're saying, why in the world are you talking about this? Because they told me to tell you this. April 18th, they're going to have their very special ball, and it's going to be at the Chautauqua Harbor. I'm getting her, Chris. Teeny tiny little print, Chautauqua Harbor Hotel in Celeron. And it's especially for veterans and their families. If you remember our Dwyer program with Drianne Jorba, she was here not too long ago, and we were talking about special events for peer-to-peer work with veterans, helping each other. And this is a spectacular opportunity. So mark it down, folks, April 18th, 2026. Okay? Then, let's see, what else we got? Small Business Saturday at the Reg. Okay, this is informational. So my understanding today is November 29th. And if you go over there from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., you get a complimentary movie pass for every $50 gift card you purchase. How's that? Those tickets are like $7, $8. So if you buy a gift card, okay, and you get a movie pass to go with it. So it's perfect to use on tickets to upcoming movies and events at the Reg. Okay, so check it out. All right, let's go on to 17. Blue Moon to be shown at the Reg. All right, Ethan Hawke stars as Broadway lyricist Lorenz Hart in Richard Linklater's. Linklater's? Wait a minute. There used to be a guy named Linklater, wasn't there? All right, Blue Moon. Richard Linklater's Blue Moon. This is going to be held this week, Wednesday, December 3 at 7 p.m. On the evening of March 31, 1943, Hart confronts his shattered self-confidence in Sardi's bar as his former collaborator, Richard Rodgers, celebrates the opening night of his groundbreaking hit musical, Oklahoma. By the time this night is over, Hart will have confronted both a world that no longer values his talent and the seeming impossibility of love. Blue Moon is rated R and it's 100 minutes long. I haven't heard that one before. Okay, upcoming movies at the Reg include the Christmas set romantic comedy, oh boy, I'm going to say this the best I can, The Baltimoreans. It better be a comedy. December 19th at 7 p.m. And a special engagement showing of the historical war/legal drama Nuremberg, January 6th at 6 p.m., followed by a live conversation with the author of The Nazi and the Psychiatrist, boy oh boy, Jack L. High, presented in partnership with the Robert H. Jackson Center. So that's another one coming up on January 6th, 30th at 6. We'll be talking more about that. Tickets for the movies generally are $8 in person at the box office, $10 online. And if you're interested, give them a call at 716-484-7070. Okay, we have another slide. Let's bring that one up, Chris. All right, Christmas in Ripley. That's going to be December 6th, Saturday. All kinds of things going on. As you can see, you start out with breakfasts and meters. You got the library, has their big basket raffle. I already got my tickets in, so better get your tickets in. They got unbelievable baskets. You buy a page of little tickets and you put them in these bags, and if they pull out your number, you win. All right? You've got Cooney's Ice Cream, excuse me. You got Main Street Pizzas involved. Just all kinds of things going on. I know the fire department's probably Dollar General, and you can read it right there for yourself. But that's going on December 6th in my hometown of Ripley. All right, and they're going to have some fun things going on, so stay tuned. All right, on to the next page. All right, CHQ, as you know, stands for Chautauqua Professionals Group and Dunkirk Fredonia Rotary Club. Yeah, friends of mine. Jingle at the Rocks 2025 annual event will once again benefit local Toys for Tots. All right, so this is on December 4th. Here we go. The CHQ Professionals Group in partnership with the Dunkirk Rotary Club. December 4th, a Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. The holiday-themed gathering will bring together professionals from across Chautauqua County for an evening of networking, entertainment, and a seasonal cheer for a good cause. The event is open to ages 21 and older and will benefit Toys for Tots. Admissions $10 with a new unwrapped toy for toy or $20 without a toy. So bring a toy. Attendees can enjoy music, appetizers, raffles, in an ugly sweater contest. Ugly sweater contest. I don't know if I have an ugly sweater contest. My wife would be very upset, I guess. This is our signature. This is them talking. This is their signature event for the year, and all proceeds go directly to Toys for Tots, said Monica Simpson, co-chair of the CHQ Professionals Group. We appreciate the continued support from our members and the community, she says. Continuing on, we are grateful for partners like CHQ Professionals and the Dunkirk Fredonia Rotary Club, said Lauren Boyle, Toys for Tots representative. Their commitment helps ensure local children wake up for a brighter, more joyful holiday season. Okay, I'm going to give you a real long list. I'm going to talk really fast. Ready? Event sponsors include Fredonia Farm Festival, Nestle Purina, Rotary Club of Dunkirk, Fredonia, DFT Communications, Larson Timko Funeral Home, 64 on the Rocks, the Catering Company, and Lake Erie Medical Services. And additional sponsorships and basket donations are always accepted. All right, for more information, you can give them a call at 716-363-3770. All right, one more time, 716-363-3770. And finally, one laugh at a time, okay? This is called a National Comedy Center Memory Cafe Program, and it's now a winner of 2 Gold Anthem Awards. All right, this is what's going on. It's an event caring for someone with memory loss takes strength, and we've been talking about this right along. Sometimes a shared laugh can make all the difference in the world. That's why the National Comedy Center hosts a free memory cafe on the first Monday of each month, designed for individuals living with dementia, Alzheimer's, or other memory-related conditions, along with their caregivers, family members, and care partners. The next memory cafe will take place on coming up Monday, December 1, an opportunity to share in laughter, connection, and the support of a welcoming community. Participants can explore the museum's interactive exhibits at their own pace, rekindling joyful memories through beloved shows like I Love You, Lucy, Carol Burnett, the Dick Van Dyke Show, and all kinds of folks. So look, it's free. You check in at 10 a.m. You can have a little look around. 11 o'clock they have refreshments in the great company and fun engaging program. And it's December 1, okay, coming up. And that's at the National Comedy Center, and they've won 2 gold awards for this program. All right, I'm going to take a breather. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about a very interesting project.
Hello, I'm Dave Travis, and I've been a member of the Westfield-Mayville Rotary Club for the past 16 years, and I currently serve as the club treasurer. My occupation is the Deputy Chief Clerk of the Chautauqua County Family Court. What makes Rotary so special to me is the opportunity to work with the young people through the Brockton Interact Club. As a club co-advisor, I'm able to teach our youth the importance of serving others through community service. Our youth today do want to help others if given the opportunity. Last year, the Brockton Interact Club performed 14 community service projects. Our Rotary Club knows our youth are the most important assets. We recognize our students through our Student of the Month program and through our Rotary Scholarship Awards. Rotary is a wonderful service organization whose motto is service above self. For more information, please call the number below. Thank you. I'm a Rotarian.
That is a throwback to my friend Dave Travis, and that number is no longer any good, but you can always call 223-0112, and that's my number, and I'll be happy to talk to you about Rotary. Well, my guest today is someone I've known for going on 22 years, I believe now. We're fellow Rotarians, and we've known, yeah, that's that long. Dan Smith, who was a long-time Rotarian as well. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, John. Oh, what a wonderful day to be here.
Yeah, it's not snowing or anything. How long have you been a Rotarian?
Well, it's been since 1998, I believe.
All right, so about 5 years longer than me, so it'll be 27 years. Wow.
Yeah, about 27
We're getting
years.
kind of long in the tooth.
I remember when I was 27.
Dan, you and I talked about a special project that Rotary's involved with across the world, and we're going to get to that in just a little bit. But, you know, people, they kind of know we're around. They kind of know sort of what we do, and we're called Rotarians. How long has Rotary been around? Do you know?
Right now we're at about 110 years. They celebrated a centennial.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was 1908 or something like that,
Yeah.
when Rotary first started.
Well
by
over
a
100 years.
Fellow named Paul Harris, who was an attorney in Chicago, and he gathered a bunch of his business friends, and they revolved where they would have lunch together, and they called that rotating lunches, and eventually they called it Rotary,
Uh-huh.
and they started an organization, and more people wanted to join it. More and more people wanted to help the community.
So they started out with one guy with some of his friends.
One guy.
So what do you think, maybe like a dozen guys maybe? Or
Oh,
one-
yeah.
Okay.
Less than 20.
Okay.
Less than 20. Whatever they can get around a round table, I guess. But that's how it started. And
So there's like how many now?
well, right now, Rotary has grown immensely. And you think, well, another service organization and that sort of thing. But Rotary does so many terrific things. And how do they do that? They do it because we have 1.2 million Rotarians around the world.
Wait a minute, they went from 20 to 1.2 million?
We now have 1.2 million Rotarians.
Paul Harris had a good idea.
And they're not all in the United States. There's 45,000 clubs all over the world in over 130 countries. So Rotary's reach and what they can do is worldwide. And that's when we talk about our other project here in just a few minutes about polio and eradicating polio, you'll see why that's such success has come from so many Rotarians and friends of Rotarians all over the world to help in all of those efforts.
So here in Chautauqua County, where's Rotary?
Well, in Chautauqua County, there are 4 clubs, actually 5 clubs, excuse me. Westfield-Mayville Rotary Club,
That's
my home club.
our home club.
And then, as you heard earlier on some of your announcements, the Dunkirk Fredonia Rotary Club. That's a club that's been around quite a while. The Jamestown Noon Club has been in existence for, well, they're over 100 years that they have been a club. And there is a morning club. It's called the Greater Jamestown Club. And then there's a club in Falconer as well. So we're well represented in Chautauqua County.
Awesome. And I think our club's going to be 100 years old in 29, right? 2029?
I believe that's correct.
So we've been around a while. You and I haven't been there all that time, but it's long history.
Well, when one of the other things that I do with youth services, and each year I go and make presentations for our scholarships at the schools, and I say, Rotary is celebrating its, now we're into the 90 years, and it's just, it kind of boggles my mind every time I think about that and all the things that Rotary has done over that 90 years that they have been in existence.
When you think about your 20-some years in being a Rotarian, what comes to mind, that a project or something that you did or involved with comes right to your top of your mind? I have one that always pops up, but go ahead. See what you think.
One of the things that I do in Rotary is with youth services, and just earlier you saw with Dave Travis talking about working with youth and interact clubs, and we support and recognize Scholars of the Month for all 4 of our area schools, which is Westfield, Chautauqua Lake, Sherman, and Brockton.
And Chautauqua Lake includes Ripley, so really 5.
That's right. That's right. And that's a very important. We used to do Ripley separately, and we had those before. And
the high schoolers now go to Chautauqua Lake, but they're still part of Ripley,
That's good. But that, really pops out to me because we recognize approximately 40 students for their outstanding work in high school. They're all seniors. But giving away scholarships, providing youth leadership programs, and a program that's called Junior RILA for sophomores or juniors in high school. That's a wonderful program for high schoolers. And that's just very gratifying, and to see, the positive effect that we have on those students and on the schools and the administrators, and how much they appreciate our efforts.
And for those that are watching, if you ever want to check out what we're doing, you can go to our Facebook page at Westfield-Mayville Rotary Club, and those students are on there, and lots of the events that we do and so on. The thing that always pops up in my mind immediately are actually two things. Is I remember one year we were at the Boy Scout camp here in Chautauqua County, and we were building platforms and we were painting buildings and all that. And then I think it was Dave Travis, the gentleman that we saw earlier on the PSA there. I think he hooked us up with a student that had been injured and was in a wheelchair, and we helped refurbish some of the home of these folks. They couldn't afford it, and we were doing drywall and insulation and all kinds of stuff. And it was, but it was our Rotary Club. You know, it's people just lending a hand and things like that. And it goes on and on and on. And Rotarian clubs are doing it all around the world. You know.
Oh, absolutely. When you multiply, you know, that effort, I mean, that's our one club, and then you multiply it by the 5 clubs that are in Chautauqua County. And then you talk about Western New York, and Buffalo's a very big area, and then we're also into Canada in our district. But then you add it all up and you say, well, there's 1.2 million Rotarians out there doing good in the world. 45,000 clubs, that's a lot of effort and a lot of doing good in the world. So.
You know, I often think about whether it's Rotary, Kiwanis, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, whatever church groups, you know, if these folks weren't doing what they do, who would do it, you know?
Well, that's, you know, that's quite an amazing thing, yeah. Who would do it?
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is that people and humanity, they want to help.
Mm-hmm.
And they find, you know, a lot of gratification for themselves and for others in helping somebody else. It's a good feeling, and that's one of the reasons to be in Rotary.
One of the
It's a really
projects
good
that our
thing.
club just finished, we were just over at the Hira Hall Memorial Library in Brockton this week, and our club donated a bunch of money, $500, which was matched by a grant from District 7090, which is our district for Rotary. And then the local folks, one of the trustees and her husband, they donated another $1,000,
Right.
and they got $2,000 worth of brand new books. And again, you can see pictures on our Facebook page if anybody's interested. So we do all kinds of stuff. Rotary has some goals, right? Working with children, helping families, especially in education, water for third world countries.
Maternal
and-
help.
Yeah, so all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So you have a special project that you've been involved with this past year. So let's get right into it. Polio Plus, what is that all about?
Well, Polio Plus is an outgrowth of the In Polio Now program, as you can see with just the emblem here a little bit with the brochure. But, you know, we're talking about eradicating polio in the world. In the world.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. And you say, well, gee, we don't have polio here. What do we care about that? What do you mean we're raising money to end polio? Is it really a threat? Well, here's something for you to think about. Today, polio just remains endemic in Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Okay, hang on. We're going to do this. While you're talking, my assistant is going to shoot the map.
Oh,
all right, he's going to go right
okay.
over to that map. He's going to get that all lined up because we talked about this ahead of time. I want people to kind of think about this. Is Afghanistan, and it's the stands, and it's very mountainous, and there's lots of military and political upheaval,
Yep.
and it's hard for people to get in there. So go ahead, Afghanistan,
And Pakistan.
Pakistan. So whenever you're ready, we're going to look at our world map and talk a little bit about that so you get a feeling, folks, of what we're talking about. So,
Okay, well, the thing is that polio vaccine has to be delivered, and it has to be delivered at a cooler temperature. So one of the challenges is to keep the polio vaccine cold enough so that it can be administered and be effective.
there we go. All right, so there we are, folks. It's between like China, India, and Saudi Arabia. It's up top there. Because a lot of people forget what we're talking about, all right? And remember, we had a military presence there for many years, but we're out of there now, right? All right, so Dan, when you say vaccine, what do you mean vaccine? Is this a shot?
Well, actually,
I mean, that's what people always think it is.
you could.
All right. We're going to hop over here now.
quick
We're making
shot of-
Justin run around here.
Yeah, we're making Justin run, but this is a kind of a
Okay.
cool picture, I think, that you might see. You see how they're administering
Oh, how easy
polio
is that?
now is drops.
Okay, so there's a
3
little-
drops
Okay.
into an infant or child, that sort of thing. It could be an adult as well, but that's how it's administered. But those drops have to be kept at a fairly low temperature to be effective.
So how do they do this out in the field?
Well, they have, teams of Rotarians and other volunteers that work with them. There's other organizations that Rotary combines with, such as the World Health Organization, the CDC, UNICEF, and one of the Gavi, it's the Vaccine Alliance. And one of the big supporters is the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, but you might not realize how much Bill Gates does many more things than just Microsoft. So we'll talk about that, and he's very philanthropic, and you maybe have heard about that, but he's been very, very helpful to Rotary in helping
Okay,
eradicate
I just got a
polio.
question that came through.
Oh, okay.
We have unbelievable technology here. The question was, do the drops go in the nose, like a nose drop, or is it through the mouth?
Through the mouth,
Okay, just 3 drops.
just 3 drops, and that's good to go. I mean, many of you might remember when you were children getting, I think we had to have at least 2 shots of polio.
Yeah.
And I remember when I joined the Army that they had moved it up, and they were making sure that everybody had polio vaccine. Well, it was this liquid dripped all over sugar cubes, and we all
okay.
took a sugar cube, and that's how it was administered at that
So
point.
let's roll the tape back in history. So we got to go back to like pre-50s, right? Before, when we were just little kids, I
Well,
believe, polio
Yeah,
was pretty
in
rampant.
In 50s, yes,
And
very much
I don't
so.
think people realize this is the one thing that put people into like those iron lungs, right?
Oh, yes.
You know,
yes.
think about that. And for people that are too young to remember this, if you look up polio, if you got polioitis, I think that
Polio-
it's a long word.
myelitis, I
There you
think.
go.
Oh.
It's itis on the end. But anyways, if you contracted polio, this was a very serious situation for some
Oh.
folks. They couldn't breathe on their own, and they
Yep.
were in these iron lungs, in these big machines, and it's really something. Now, if I remember right, there was something like over 300,000 cases of polio every year, wasn't there?
Oh, absolutely.
And this is across the
It
world.
was like 500,000, I believe, and I think it was 300,000 just in the United States.
Right.
So that
And then,
was,
so then FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he got his whole campaign going to help this. But it really wasn't almost till more than the 80s when, like you said, Bill Gates got involved, right?
yes, I think it was later that Gates got involved. But,
Right.
but Rotary and the World Health Organization and UNICEF got together. Rotary became the wing that was out there with the boots level, so to
boots
speak,
on the ground, yeah,
getting
yeah.
it out there. But think about eradicating polio in the world. Now you think about, okay, so we got Europe. Okay, so now we've got, Italy and the Mediterranean. Okay, now we're going into Africa. Well, that's pretty hot down there in those equator zones.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They had to develop the technology, which is called, let me see, cold chains to maintain the correct temperature for the polio vaccine.
Wow.
So just like anything else, necessity helps you invent things.
Right. The mother invention
do
is
that.
necessity, yeah.
But that's one thing. But think about, they would have World Polio Day. So I think we have this in polio now, but
Right.
Rotary has a day each year that they highlight ending polio. But they would have immunization day in these various countries, and they would marshal all the young children to become, we say vaccinated, but to receive the vaccine. They don't give them shots anymore.
Right.
So, as we just mentioned, so it's really painless.
Right, and I also want to point out to the viewers, if you go online and you'll see pictures of children that have polio, and you think, well, what's the big deal? You already mentioned maybe if you get it so bad you're in iron lung. Well, they have deformities and leg issues, and
Yeah.
I mean, I saw
And
pictures of children that I don't even know how they can get up and move. They're just crippled, and without mentioning any names, we know some people that had polio when they were kids.
Right.
And it's not something that goes away once you get it, from what I understand. It's something that just stays in
You
your
have to live
body,
with
and you
all
have to
your
live
life.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can rear its head from time to time. So where are we now in the world? I mean, let's go to the United States. How are we in the United States? Are we doing okay, or?
Well, we are polio-free in the United States.
All right. So no reported cases at this point.
So let me just say about how do you become declared polio-free. You have to have no new cases of polio for 2 consecutive years.
Okay.
Then you can be declared polio-free. The last country that was declared polio-free was India.
Oh, wow. That's a
Not-
huge country.
That's a huge country, huge population, living very close together in many other places, as you might know. But no new polio cases for 2 years in order to be declared polio-free. And then you have to stay polio-free. No more new cases after that.
Now, what I've read over the years is there's a lot of Rotary clubs in India, if I remember right.
Yes.
And there's some movers and shakers there, and they obviously have done the work that needs to be done. 'Cause I forgot, there's like 1 billion people there or something.
Oh,
It's
it's
huge.
huge.
So that's quite an undertaking.
Oh, yeah. But that's just one country
Yeah.
out of the entire world. I mean, if you look at, just think about South America. How big is South America? How big is Africa? How big is Australia? How big is the United States and Canada?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking some big geographics here.
All right, so United States right now is polio free.
Yes.
India, and now you said, where's it at now? Where's it left?
Only in Afghanistan and Pakistan.
So what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that those countries are at war,
Yeah.
for one. And if you remember some of the war efforts that we've had, I think you might remember that it was very difficult because there were so many mountainous caves,
Yeah.
and there was governments that, would say, hey, this is a Western, plot against you. And so they were scaring people away from, this type of help. So the volunteers are going out into some pretty treacherous country, challenging terrain to begin with. People that live very far apart, trying to reach them. I mean, trying to have a polio day where they're marshaled is difficult because they're so, it'd be like, maybe the next family is 20 miles away up a next
pretty
mountain.
isolated, yeah. Well, and I also would think if these people don't know what y'all are talking about and you don't have translators, you're going to have to build a real support system there with somebody to translate. Somebody will say, this is okay, this is how you're going to protect your babies. And I think that's what we try to do, is get to the young children, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, do they have to be vaccinated every year, or is it just a one-time thing? Or
It's a one-time thing.
That's it, right? It's really
Yeah,
cool. Just
one
pretty
time.
simple, dimple.
Yeah, it's the challenge is getting to them and that they want to do it.
Do we have any idea how many cases are still out there?
It's less than 20.
20?
Yeah. less
Wait a
than
minute, we were
20.
talking about hundreds of thousands, and we're down to 20 in the whole world that we
Yes,
know of?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And
But-
Rotary's been there right along
Oh, Rotary has been there
for years and years
for
and
years and years and years.
Wow,
It's
I didn't
been
realize it was
amazing.
down that small.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's like, I don't know how to put this exactly, but, you're cleaning your car and you're doing that detail work that you've got, man, and you've been working hard and you've got it all cleaned up, and then you see one little speck that you forgot or that you missed on the dashboard.
Yes, my wife
Okay,
will remind me of
that's
that.
Afghanistan and Pakistan.
You've got
And
everything
it's-
done, but that
and
one
it's in
little
there
spot.
where you can barely reach it. You can't quite get there. That's the challenge.
Well, that's a great analogy. You're
that's,
right. Yeah.
That's very, very difficult.
Very, very frustrating too. I
So, but those of us that are dedicated
Mm-hmm.
and that sort of thing, we know we're going to get there.
bet. So Westfield-Mayville Rotary Club's not going to go there.
Well, it's possible if somebody wanted to volunteer,
Oh,
they could get themselves into the volunteer program through Rotary International,
Mm-hmm.
and they could become qualified to go into those areas to administer.
but as a
polio.
rule, we're working, supporting others, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
So, but whenever we had the space program,
Mm-hmm.
and there's an awful lot of technology within the space program, but what else happened from the space program? There's other things that got developed that
Right, spin-offs.
benefited
Yeah,
mankind.
yeah.
I'm just going to give you a couple little things about that because
Okay.
we have completed thousands of clean water and sanitation projects. Part of the place where polio spreads is from contaminated water. So
Root causes. Yeah.
part of what Rotary has done is highlighted and worked on getting clean water, drilling wells, doing sanitation. Just think about sanitation.
Now, our club has done some wells, right?
Yes, we
Westfield-Mayville
have.
Rotary. We've done
And
one.
we've done in Haiti and we've done in Africa.
Yeah, and Sue Hammond and Jim Wakeman, our
Yeah.
Rotarians at the time, actually went there.
They're
right?
probably listening.
They're
this
probably
morning.
listening right now. Well, I'm sure they're going to be pleased.
Maybe
to hear
she'll
them.
call in.
Yeah.
So anyway, but that's one good thing. And I just mentioned about the cold technology, the cold chains they call it, maintaining the correct temperature of this vaccine so that it can be properly used for immunizing billions of children. Rotary's added equipment and staff, 146 laboratories worldwide to quickly identify polio cases, okay? So that's very important. So you have to identify where is it and how did it get there? Where did it spread? And also have to use them to support the identification and treatment of other diseases, including Ebola, yellow fever, rubella, meningitis, and of course COVID and influenza. These laboratories are going to be permanent fixtures, and Rotary is going to be part of that effort.
Well, I'm sitting here and going like, all right, let's just say tomorrow everybody stopped immunizing children for polio. There would be a huge uproar.
Yep.
One kid could contaminate 10, and those 10 would do 10, and it would just blossom very, very quickly. So this is something we really need to have a watchful eye over all the time. And so you're saying Rotary now is getting involved with other diseases as well. I mean, it makes sense. The system is there, right?
Yes, it is. But let's just talk about that, how it can come back,
Yeah.
for example. We're a mobile society, and in Rotary we like to say a new outbreak is only a plane ride away. So somebody comes into the United States unknowingly may have carrying the polio virus. So let's say they fly into Buffalo and they decide they're going to go to a Bills football game. Well, now here they are with 80,000 people, and maybe they can contaminate 1,000 people. Well, that 1,000 people can then, if in the part of the problem is that people say, polio's gone. We don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry about getting my kid's vaccine, or I'm not going to get the vaccine. So now we have unprotected, humans
Yeah.
that can now contract it and spread it.
So we're going backwards.
That would be going backwards. Okay, so I said it's only in Afghanistan and Pakistan. We have to keep working to keep other countries polio free. If all of the eradication efforts stop today, within 10 years, polio could paralyze as many as 200,000 children each year.
Are you kidding?
Within 10 years.
Holy cow.
200,000 each year.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's just,
Think of
you know, all that effort,
Oh my gosh.
and then we're going to lose, you know,
Right.
200,000.
That's a powerful statement. And I didn't know you were going to say this. So I was just sitting here thinking, what would happen if we stop it? And I didn't know you had those statistics.
Well, that 200,000 could be anywhere in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we're that mobile of a society.
Holy cow.
I mean, it's just incredible. It's just incredible.
Okay.
But I don't know where we are in the program.
Okay, so
but
let's continue. All right, so Chris popped up donating to end polio. So
Okay.
why don't you talk about some ways people can get involved if they want to? All right.
Okay. Well, you can do that. You can get involved.
Let's pop up that page
Let's
that
do this
Dan
page.
brought. There we go. Perfecto.
Okay, so let's say you can make a difference by saving 50 lives.
50.
Okay.
That's a lot of people.
For only $10.
For 50 lives.
50 lives. You can save 50 lives for only 10 bucks. Well, how do you do that? Okay, the cost of one polio vaccine is only 60 cents per dose. So if you did 50 doses, that would be 30 bucks. So we need to raise 30 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's start with your donation of $10. Remember I said about the Gates Foundation?
Mhm.
They're huge into it, and they have committed that they will donate $2 for every dollar that Rotary raises towards polio. So now your $10 gets $20 added to it for a total of $30. So now you got your $30, you can save 50 lives. So going down the page here just a little bit, here's what our Westfield-Mayville Rotary Club has done this year. We've had member contributions of about $850. Our club, Westfield-Mayville Rotary Club, has contributed $250 to this effort, and we've received community contributions of about $900. So that gives us $2,000. And now we get the Gates match again, 2 for 1. There's $4,000. Now we've got a total of $6,000. Cost per dose again is 60 cents. So we have saved 10,000 lives at the Westfield-Mayville Rotary Club. And that's something that we are extremely proud of.
So let's roll the tape back here for a
Go
second.
back just a second.
So
there.
what you're saying is for every dollar that's donated,
Yes,
it's matched with 2 more.
with 2 more.
That is powerful when you think about it.
It's huge.
Holy cow.
Go down to the bottom, please.
Okay, the other screen, Chris. There we go. There we go.
He's quite the guy.
We do it all here, man.
Well, here's how you can do it. Here's how you can go. You can make a $10 contribution or any amount that you would like to our Westfield-Mayville Rotary Club. Our treasurer is Katie Riley. She's from Brockton area. And that's our address, P.O. Box 162, Westfield. But you can also go online,
Mm-hmm.
if you would.
Oh, look at that.
Here, this is a card.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to scan that QR code right now, you can go to Rotary International's website where you can make a donation.
You know, folks, I'm testing with my phone right now, and it works. So let's leave it up there for a little bit if anybody's interested. All right.
Yeah. And one thing, they like to know how your involvement came in. But you see our club number there, Club 4754? That's the number identification for the Westfield-Mayville Rotary Club. So on the donation form, it'll give you an opportunity to say which club would this be attributed to, and that's where you would put that number.
Now, I'm assuming you can use a credit card or Venmo or whatever, PayPal, however.
Yes.
I mean, $10, that's all you're really asking for.
I mean, that's not much. But, you know, some people might give $25, but $10, you know, what's that? One lunch per month,
Yeah, hardly anything.
or maybe $10 per month.
There you go.
You know, you can make a recurring donation,
Okay.
whatever. But any amount that you do is going to be multiplied by 3.
So for those who are watching right now,
And
if you-
for every 3,
yeah,
$10,
yeah,
$30, 50 lives.
wow.
So wouldn't that make you feel pretty good about saving 50 lives this season?
So for Rotarians that are watching right now, you can use any donation towards their Paul Harris Fellowship.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Dan, right now, I'm going to give you a check, and we're not going to say necessarily how much it is to everybody, but this is towards my Paul Harris.
Wow.
And if I remember right, and I did my math right, that's
Wow.
us guys here at the studio, because we do get involved with things.
We're not going to give you
We're not going to say anything. No, 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 no. I think that's going to save about 1,100 lives.
Well, we just increased the member donations by a significant amount. And one of the things that Rotarians do is recognize other Rotarians, you know, for their contributions into the Rotary Foundation,
Right.
Which this would go to. But then you become part of the Paul Harris Society
Right.
once you reach a certain donation level. That donation level is $1,000, and anybody, not just Rotarians, can be a member of the Paul Harris Society. Now, if you make donations towards Polio and Polio Plus, that all counts towards that Paul Harris.
So, Justin, I don't know if you can get a close-up on this right here, and Dan has one as well. We are both Paul Harris Fellows, and I don't care who you can zap mine because it's probably easier to get to. But anyways, I'm gonna put my finger right next to it here so you can find where, I can never do this, it's backwards right there. So there we go.
There it is.
So this is actually a image of Paul Harris, who's the founder of Rotary. And then there's little spots that you can put little gems, you call it, around there. And so it's
Well,
different levels.
Each one is Paul
represent-
Harris level.
Right. And I got an additional one. That's why I have this sapphire here, because at the time I was the president during the pandemic, and we were the pandemic presidents and kept our clubs together, and we were honored with a Paul Harris recognition, and I got that level. And so I believe that this contribution today will get me to the next level, and I know that you've
And you'll
got,
get a new pin with
and
the
a
next,
new pin. And Dan, you've got
next-
some gems on yours as well, right?
Yeah, where'd to go?
Yeah, it's hard to find.
There,
There we go.
I get this out of the
There
way
you go.
for the
Yeah,
ball.
there you go. So I know that. Wow, look at you, 5 of them. Woo.
You know, so I've done it 5 times, but it's, you know, as the years go by and that sort of thing, you don't have to do it all at once.
No, over time.
You know, I mean, when I first started, we had well, they call it a club.
Yep.
And you donated, I think it was $100 a year.
Mhm. I was part of that,
And
yep.
after 10 years, you'd be in the club, so.
Okay, Dan, I know it
Oh.
seems hard to believe, but we're down to like a minute and a half.
Oh,
So
golly
what
gee whiz.
what are the key points that you want to make here at this point, besides donating to Rotary for the polio?
Okay,
project?
so here on, okay, what we do, down at the bottom it says our mission, okay? We provide service to others, promote integrity, advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through our fellowship and business, professional, and community leaders. In our vision statement, next page, if you have it, at the top there. Here's what gets to me. It says, together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. So I think that speaks a lot to me, and I think the more you look at that, the more it will speak to you too. But that's what Rotary clubs do, and that's why I'm a Rotarian, and that's why John's
I'm
a
a Rotarian, right? And our Rotary Club meets at the Westfield YWCA in Westfield. And
Yes.
The second and fourth Tuesdays of the month. So always check our website or Facebook page, and we'll let you know what's going on. Dan Smith, thank you for all that you do in Rotary and helping the world be a better place.
Well, thank you very much, John, for letting me be here, and
Absolutely.
it's a wonderful program to come.
Thank you.
So, is there 20 seconds for a question?
We're done. we are out of here.
Okay.
So, folks, please consider helping out with the polio project or any project. It's all good no matter what we do in the world. Just help each other. Okay. We're going to see you next month in December, and I hope you enjoyed today's show, and have a nice weekend and stay warm. See you next Saturday. Bye-bye now.